A $6 billion data center could be coming to Oldham County, and with it, a $4 billion economic impact. The proposed site is along Kentucky 53 in LaGrange. A user for that site has not been named yet, though we are told it would employ 150 people. Neighbors have concerns questioning the location and the environmental impacts.
Concerns about runoff, water usage and runoff into the streams and creeks there. Um, we like our environment here in Oldham County.
County leaders say that several public meetings will happen before any major next steps. WDRB in-depth reporter Marcus Green joining me now. Marcus, you're following two similar projects, the one out in Oldham County, and then there's one in Louisville in the Rubbertown area as well. But the reaction to this data center out there in Oldham County is getting, I guess, much different response than what we're seeing in Metro Louisville. Why is that?
Yeah, that's right, Gil, and the main reason is because they're two entirely different projects. The one in Louisville is on land already zoned for this type of big, massive campus that will house these computer server warehouses. The one in Oldham County, much more rural, there are neighbors nearby, and it's going to require a zoning change. So the type of regulatory approval that is required in Oldham County doesn't exist in Louisville. That's why the reception in Louisville was much more positive. The one in Oldham County is much more muted as this project gets announced.
Right, so it's a similar project. They're both data centers, but the footprint where they want to be built, it looks a little different, the lay of the land out there.
Yeah, that's correct.
Overall, because we're also seeing one of these going up that's already in construction in Clark County, what is drawing these type of projects here?
Well, I think there are two things in Kentucky that are drawing these projects. One is geography. The land is ample. There's the types of acreage to put together contiguous parcels for these big projects. There's relatively cheap power, energy. And secondly, subsidies. Kentucky just approved legislation that expands the types of tax breaks for these projects. So Oldham County, which would not have qualified last year, now qualifies. The developer, whoever that is, the ultimate end user, could qualify for tax breaks for 25 years on all of the types of equipment they're going to put in there. So buying these computer servers, buying routers, all that stuff, all that equipment would not have to pay sales tax on it for a generation or more.
We know Facebook's the company in Clark County. Do we know the company in Louisville yet?
We don't, and that seems to be one of the trends in building these campuses is that developers know there is such a demand in this industry. This is one of the fastest growing tech industries in the world, quite frankly. And so a lot of these campuses are now being built on spec. Build it and they will come is the mantra. So
okay.
the case in Louisville, the case now at Oldham County, we don't know who the end user might be, but they believe there is the demand to ultimately satisfy that land.
And let's walk back just a little bit for the folks at home who may not really understand. What is a data center?
Right, so think about our daily lives. Every day, every minute of every day almost, we're using our cell phones, we're gaming, we're watching movies, we're streaming. Everything we do, all that data has to be processed and taken and essentially made so we can access things very quickly. These data centers are basically large campuses with warehouse type buildings. They're packed with servers and routers and cables and all the computer equipment that help to move that data quickly so that it can meet all of our daily needs. Again, big buildings that look almost like warehouses, but they are packed full of computer equipment and really don't employ a lot of people. The main impact is on the construction side, not necessarily those people working inside these facilities.
All right, Marcus, we'll look for your article right now on WDRB.com. Thanks, and stay on top of it for us as this moves through the zoning process.